The flowers pile up at the church where it all began for Aretha Franklin, many of them purple, the color of royalty, a tribute to the Queen of Soul.
You know, Aretha, she's more than a singer. And she's a singer that, will pull your heart out.
She's a legend, she's a legend. She's history, she's Detroit.
The loss for this city felt keenly.
Aretha is part of the core fabric of the city of Detroit, and she's really a gift to the world.
It was with this church, where her pastor father led from the pulpit, that she found her voice in the gospel choir.
That's shame.
All preparation for her taking her place in the pantheon of American music. Today, the church was filled with gratitude for her music.
The Queen of Soul means so much to all of us, especially us here at New Bethel.
Franklin always held this town dear, coming back to her church year after year.
Detroit has been with me ever since then. They were there when no one else knew who I was.
Franklin's strength for so many here is that her music brought black culture to the forefront. Her most well-known song became an anthem for not only the civil rights movement, but also much more, says this pastor.
That's why people are playing Respect, because Respect was a song that came out of '67 in terms of people needing to have dignity and respect. And then the women took it.
What's more, he says, is what Aretha Franklin did quietly for others in the town she loved so much.
Every year she would have these dinners and she would feed people in the community. There are funerals, a lot of people don't know it, that Aretha Franklin paid for. She did a lot of things that were indiscreet, and she didn't want any kind of publicity for it. That's the kind of person that she was.
As they say goodbye, her church family is focusing on celebrating her life and the music she left behind.
At the end of the day, we know she's in a better place rejoicing and singing songs up there too.
Salima is in Detroit tonight, where there are people celebrating Franklin's life, as we saw there. Okay, Salima, I know you haven't been there so long, but have you had a chance to get a sense of the mood there?
Well, Rosie, really there is sadness, of course, as Detroit says bye to their own personal queen, but it's mixed with that celebration that you saw. People were dancing here earlier, breaking out into song, some people riding bicycles down the street, blaring Aretha Franklin's music. So there's that sense of, honoring a life and legacy and honoring that music, the celebration mixed in with that sadness.
Okay, and what can we expect there over the next few days? Do we have a sense of that yet?
Well, we haven't heard of any formal events being organized, but you can really expect, more people stopping by here. There are those books of condolences to sign, and people really paying tribute to her, sort of cropping up, little celebrations cropping up around the city, as we've seen all day today. In terms of funeral arrangements, we do expect to hear more about that early next week from a spokesperson for Aretha Franklin and the family, but we do know that there will be multiple events here in Detroit.
Okay, Salima, thanks for that in Detroit tonight.